9 and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Mets and Channel 9 is prohibited. And there are the bat boy Jeffrey Friedman working with Richie Bradley today. Talking with Elliot Maddox and Bruce Beauclair. What a comfortable day. There's really a hint of autumn in the air this afternoon. And we know from the past it doesn't necessarily mean we won't have any more hot weather. But what a weekend. Now John Milner, batting at .291, faces Ray Burris, top of the second. Fastball, strike call. Well hit to deep right field, going on its way, and it is gone. A home run for John Milner. For Milner, his 16th home run of the year. And we have a 3-1 ball game. Milner, a pull hitter who has good power. And he really applied the bat to that delivery by Ray Burris for number 16.
It's the second home run given up by Ray Burris since coming to the New York Mets. Milner has been a good home run hitter for the Mets. He holds the record for the most home runs by a left-hand batter for Met with 23. And this one hits the scoreboard. Well hit.
.3-1 the score. This is Bill Madlock, the third baseman. Bill has had 2 hits of the series. Takes high, ball 1. And the slider low and away, 2 balls and no strikes. Base hit to left field. Clean line single by Bill Madlock. The Pirates are hard to hold down. They're coming back.
Madlock in yesterday's ball game did not get a base hit in the game, but he hit the ball hard 4 times. Solid line drives.
Now the catcher, Ed Ott, is coming up. 2 for 6 in the series. Ott batting at .271 on the year. Physically, he is a very strong young man. There goes Madlock. The throw by Stearns. Safe. Well, the Pirates are running on John Stearns. Their second stolen base in 2 innings. John, as we mentioned earlier, has been bothered by a sore arm.
Well, look at it again. It's stolen base number 24 for Madlock. He's been thrown out only 7 times. He had not been much of a stolen baseman until he got with the Pirates, and they have put him in motion.
Chuck Tanner is a manager who believes in speed and the stolen base. Good curveball. 1-1. Ed Ott looks a little bit like John Stearns, doesn't he?
Doesn't that shot? They're built a lot alike.
Foul ball back. John was unhappy today. His alma mater, the Colorado Buffs, knocked off by Oregon yesterday. Phil Garner on deck. Yesterday, the first big Saturday afternoon of the new college football season. Towering pop-up. It's in play. Hebner is calling for it. Oh, and he dropped it. Actually, he didn't drop it. He just didn't catch it. You can see he was struggling under it all the way. Richie's had some problems in the field of late, and the crowd is on him a little bit.
He was fighting the sun on that one. Well, look at it again. There's no wind. It's just basically the sun. And watch him. He's trying to move around to get that sun away from the ball. And he just doesn't do it.
He had his glasses down. He flipped them. He knew he was going to have to battle it. They have scored an error on Richie Hebner. And the Pirates have runners on first and second. Nobody out. And the hitter is Phil Garner, the second baseman. Garner hitting .287. He's a tough hitter. Good slider by Ray Burris. Pirates do not have a weak spot in their batting order. Bruce Keeson is the on-deck batter. And on the inside corner, a strike. Lowest batting average of the starting lineup is .271. Fastball just missing. The hitter is Phil Garner. The Pirates coming right back, now trailing 3-1. That's got 3 off Keeson in the first inning. Bounced over the mound to Barris. Steps on second and on to Cranepool double play. Frank Tavares stepping on second and throwing to Cranepool to double up Phil Garner. Madlock moves over to third. Mets have now made 141 double plays, and they've played 140 ball games this year. We'll watch Frank Tavares in action again.
And it's tailor-made for Frank, as he can make the play without handing the ball over to Doug Flynn. He's got that forward motion going for him, and he has to get up in the air to get out of the way of Ed Ott, who is tough enough to take you out to left field.
Boy, Frankie looked like quite a hurdler on that. He really went in the air to get over him. Bruce Keeson, the batter, 7 for 43. Swing and a miss, strike 1. At the half, the football Giants, the New York Giants 14, and the St. Louis Cardinals 14. Bunted foul as Keeson tries to bunt for a base hit. He was using the element of surprise. Madlock is on third, 2 men away. And he struck him out. Ray Burris strikes out Bruce Keeson. And the Pirates settle for 1 run. On 2 hits, there was an error and 1 left on.
Hi, I'm Bill Smith, president of Pittsburgh Brewing Company. And we're here today at the brewery with Chuck Tanner, the manager of the world champion Pirates.
And with the help of this great Pittsburgher, Bill Smith, we're able to bring you highlights of our World Championship 79 season.
Chuck, you and the Pirates had a great season.
We sure did. We all worked together, everybody did their job, and we were #1, just like the Pittsburgh Brewing Company.
Well, you made a comeback in the World Series, and so have we. We're looking optimistically at 1980 for bigger and better things for our brewery.
Well, Bill, watching baseball really makes me thirsty. Let's toast our victories with an Orange City and an IC Light.
Once again, we at Pittsburgh Brewing Company are pleased to bring you the Year of the Family.
The guys on the club are super. You know, it's a family, is what it is. There's 25 guys that go out. We travel together all summer long. We're coming home, you know, when you come home, you spend half the day with your family at home and half your day with your family at the ballpark.
We do have a unique relationship, and I think the basis of our relationship is a great deal of mutual respect.
We're together so long, we're just like a family. A lot of together more than a lot of guys with their wives. So no better theme song than We Are Family.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. Everyone can see we're together as we walk on by. And we fly just like birds of a feather. I won't tell no lie. All of the people around us, they say, can they be that close? Just let me say for the record, we're giving love in a family dose. We are
Spring training 1979. The team reunites beneath the glow of the Florida sun. The Pittsburgh Pirates are getting ready for the kind of season about which most teams only dream.
You guys think this is fun, huh? Sitting there taking your pictures, just enjoying it.
Spirits are loose and muscles soon will be. Manager Chuck Tanner, whose team just missed in '78, is confident.
I definitely feel we're in better shape than we were last year with the addition of Romo, the addition of Lacey, a healthy Rennie Stennett, and John Candelaria coming back healthy. I feel that our ball club has to be improved almost 20 to 30%.
Captain Willie Stargell keeps a proud and watchful eye on his teammates.
That man got on a gold uniform. That's a bucko.
And the old vet is ready for new challenges.
Well, I keep coming back every year, and this is the 20th year of coming back. So last year, because of doing the things that I do in pertaining to my job, then I was comeback player of the year. This year, I'm going for the Rookie of the Year award.
And all set to go is the 1978 National League Most Valuable Player, Dave Parker, ready to take on all comers.
So you think they're going to win it in the East? You got to be out of their mind. 2 or 3 more feet rows ain't going to help them. A trio? What's that? New Dan. I think the most important thing for the Pirates, though, is to get off to a good start, something that we haven't done over the last 2 or 3 years. And I think if we get off to a good start, instead of falling way behind early in the season, we definitely are capable of winning the Eastern Division title because we're strong finishers. We have shown that for years. And I think if we could eliminate the bad start and get off to a good start, we'd definitely win the East this year.
Mindful that the fates of April had been cruel in previous years, the Pirate team headed north, only to find that lightning can strike more than twice. The early season Pirates were surrounded by frustration. Perhaps they had wound themselves too tightly. Getting off to an all too familiar poor start, the Pirates lost 10 of their first 14 games while committing 23 errors. Of April, the Bucks were at the bottom of the National League East. First place was shared by the defending champion Phillies, a team that had beaten out Pittsburgh 3 straight years, and the Montreal Expos, unexpected upstarts. Both clubs would have to be reckoned with. Opponents whom Pittsburgh had terrorized in the past were now enjoying a moment of success. Pirate loyalists were concerned. The Pirates appeared on the ropes, but things would soon change. In late April, the Bucks had acquired smooth fielding Tim Foley from the Mets, and the new shortstop soon added punch to the Bucko lineup with his hard-nosed play. With an entire team to support him, the newest Pirate felt right at home in Pittsburgh.
I've been in the big leagues 9 years now, and this is the first opportunity I've had to play on a ball club like this. First opportunity I've had that doing little things that I've always done, hitting runners over, bunting, hitting, running, advancing runners, making a double play, just playing good, solid defense and basics on offense that have helped this ball club.
An unexpected bonus was Foley's bat. In his first month in Pirate Gold, Tim hit .341 with 14 RBIs. On his way to a career-high .288 average, Tim Foley showed what a difference he could make. The team further improved with the arrival of pitcher Dave Roberts and Bill Madlock from the Giants. Uncomfortable as a San Francisco second baseman, Madlock welcomed the change back to third.
I don't have to get involved in a double play or anything like that, where I can keep my mind on what other things like hitting. You know, over there at third base is basically reaction plays, but at second base you got to worry about the double play. You got to worry about, you know, covering back on a bunt. So it's more relaxing playing third base now.
Madlock went on to turn in one of the best fielding percentages of all National League third basemen in 1979. Bill Madlock had buttoned down the left side of the Pirate infield. The final piece of the puzzle fell into place as scrap iron Phil Garner took up residence at second base, proving that he, too, was no slouch when it came to making a point. Garner was always rough and ready, either on the attack or on defense, where the Pirates' infield play was now as smooth as Tennessee Mountain Dew. On July 2nd, when Bill Madlock played his first game for Pittsburgh, the Bucks were only 3 games over 500. From that point on, the team won better than 2 out of every 3, and the 2-time batting champion went on to hit .328 in a Pirate uniform. On the eve of the All-Star Classic, the Bucks were 4 games out of first. The team was coming together, and the future looked bright. Baseball's 50th All-Star Game. The site, Seattle's Kingdome. The National League sets out to record its 8th straight victory, and Dave Parker is there to make it happen. The Cobras struck in the top of the second with a sacrifice fly that scored Philadelphia's Bob Boone and tied the game. But Big Dave's greatest contributions came in right field. The first in the 7th inning against Jim Rice.
I haven't really played against Jim Rice that much during the course of the season, but had the opportunity to be in the Superstars with Jim Rice in '77. So I knew he had above average speed, and I knew he had a double right away when I lost the ball in the ceiling. So I just picked the ball up knowing that he would be somewhere in the vicinity of second and third. So going to get the ball, I was analyzing the play, and I turned immediately and threw the ball to third. And it ended up being a good throw. I tried to just keep it low and get a good one-hop to run save.
The second throw came in the 8th inning with Greg Nettles at bat, and the score tied. Brian Downing leads off second.
I would consider the last throw the game-saving throw when I threw out Downing at the plate. It was a throw that I had to rush and had to get off real quick. And when I released the ball, I knew I had a lot on it, and I was worried about it taking off and going over Carter's head. But Carter made an exceptional play, and it ended up being the game-saving throw. So that's the one that sticks in my mind the most.
The National League battled back to defeat the American League for the 16th time in 17 tries, and Dave Parker was named the game's most valuable player. There was another Pirate All-Star to be seen at Three Rivers Stadium, Mr. Pirate Parrott, first in the league in laps per inning. Whether posing with an ardent admirer, or cuddling up to someone special, or just getting to know the folks a little bit better, the Pirate Parrot was always making an impression.
He's crazy! Well, I think he was a little loose upstairs, but he had a little bit of enjoyment to the game.
He's very amusing, physically exciting.
Crazy, loose upstairs, amusing, and physically exciting? Well, maybe. But can you say Pirate Parrot 10 times fast?
Pirate Parrot 10 times fast.
Pirate Parrot, Pirate Parrot, Pirate Parrot, Pirate Parrot, Pirate Parrot, Pirate Parrot, Pirate Parrot.
Say Pirate Parrot, Pirate Parrot.
Pirate Parrot, Pirate Parrot, Pirate Parrot.
Pirate Parrot, Pirate Parrot, Pirate Parrot.
Pirate Parrot, Pirate Parrot. How many is that? Pirate Parrot, Pirate Parrot, Pirate Parrot, Pirate Parrot, Pirate Parrot. Pirate, 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 pirate. It ain't no pirate, 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 pirate. Pirate Parrot.
That's what I said.
Pirate, parrot, 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 parrot. That was 20 times right. Now, who unties my tongue?
All season long, the Pirate Parrot kept them laughing at Three Rivers Stadium. In the past, it was no laughing matter when the Philly fanatics and their Philadelphia Phillies came dancing into town. But this time, the Bucks were ready. In early August, the two clubs would meet 9 times in 11 days. With Montreal in first place and still going strong, it appeared that neither Pittsburgh nor Philadelphia could afford to lose. The Pirates didn't, winning 8 of 9 games. Pittsburgh got powerful pitching from the likes of Jim Bibby, who picked up 2 wins in 2 starts, working 16 1/3 innings, holding the Phillies to a paltry 9 hits and 1 earned run. The bullpen was also terrific. Enrique Romo shut out the Phillies completely, appearing 6 times, getting 3 wins, allowing no runs. And on the attack, it was all lumber and lightning. Omar Moreno struck like a thunderbolt, smacking 2 homers, scoring 10 runs, and swiping 4 of his league-leading 77 stolen bases. The Bucks money player, Dave Parker, was worth his weight in black and gold, cashing in with awesome power. In 9 games against the Phillies, the Cobra blasted 3 home runs, drove in 9, and scored 11 times. The battling Bucks had perfected their knockout punch. Catcher Ed Ott single-handedly flattened the Phillies with a bases-loaded blast in one game in which the Phillies had led by 8 runs. The Pirates came back to win 14-11. But Chuck Tanner had seen it all happen a week before. In the bottom of the 9th, with the score tied and the bases loaded, Steve Nicosia was due up. Nicosia had already gotten 4 hits, but Tanner pinch hit John Milner. Big John made big things happen. A game-winning grand slam. One more example of Pirate team strength and depth. By the end of the 9 games with Philadelphia, the Pirates had moved into first place in the National League East. By mid-August, it had become increasingly clear that something special was taking place. The Buck team had become a family, and together, the family would go on to face the challenges just ahead.
There's a beer that's going round, all the hottest spots in town. Everybody calls it Icy Light. It's really getting through to the ones who like a lighter brew. They're calling for Icy Light.
It's the taste that says today. That's why your friends all say, hey, give me an Icy Light. Hey, give me an Icy Light. An Icy Light.
As the pennant race was heating up, so were the Bucks. The time had come for the Pirates to step out. And step out they did, to a disco-dealing beat, setting the National League on fire. Bucks stayed hot with the help of team men like Bill Robinson, who smoked the opposition with 24 home runs and 75 runs batted in. Rat Jackson fanned the Pirate flame all summer long with 14 saves and a stingy 2.96 earned run average. Setting the pace in August was Kent Tekulve, who scorched his way through a league-leading 94 games and 31 saves, while chalking up a 2.75 ERA. And no play better typified Pirate family togetherness than when Omar Moreno teamed up with Dave Parker, Rennie Stennett, and Ed Ott to burn the Cardinals. From the beginning of August until the eve of a crucial series against the Expos in mid-September, the Pirates turned in a blistering 31-13 record, forging their resolve to become champions. With only 2 weeks left and the Bucks and Expos in a first-place tie, Montreal was the site for a big 2-game series. In the first game, manager Chuck Tanner called on Dave Parker. The Cobra responded by driving in 2 Pirate runs. And 2 runs were enough to keep the Expos down, as Don Robinson, battling tendinitis, went the full 9, holding Montreal to only 1 run in a 2-1 Bucco win. The next night, the Pirates jumped out to a 3-run lead in the first inning. Although behind, the Expos came back to tie. But then Kent Tekulve slammed the door shut. Rat Jackson and friends kept it shut. Ninth inning, score still tied, and the stage is set for Willie Stargell. The Expos are beaten again, this time in a 6-hour rain-interrupted marathon that ended at 2 o'clock in the morning. A week later, the same 2 teams meet again, this time in Pittsburgh. And this time, the Bucks take 3 out of 4, exploding for 31 runs, Matt the Scat style. In the pivotal game, Willie Stargell did it again, hitting 2 home runs, driving in 3. When the series was over, the Pirates were in first place thanks to Willie Stargell, who played with the spirit of a man half his age.
When the time comes when I lose that enthusiasm, when I no longer get goosebumps as a result of each game, and I'll call timeout if I'm coming to hit with the bases loaded, I'll call timeout, wave my hat, and that's the last you see of Willie Stargell on the baseball field.
Someday you're gonna be old. Bless your soul. Someday you'll be old. One day you'll be full of life, and life won't owe you nothing. You'll be wise because you've experienced it all. Well, you might have a few aches and pains, but you still keep struggling, 'cause you don't want to give up on this good thing. Someday you're gonna be old. Bless your soul. Someday you'll be old. So get the best of every day, 'cause every moment is precious. Don't let your past catch up with you. You ought to think about what you do before you do it. Try and develop self-control, 'cause it don't take long before your youth is gone and all the time starts coming on. Someday you're gonna be old. Bless your soul.
Bob Stargell, team captain and most valuable player, had led his team into the final week. With only 3 days left, the division winner was still in doubt. Montreal was only a game behind as the Pirates began a 3-game series with the Cubs. Every play was critical. But the Pirates responded eagerly to the pressure. Everyone wanted a piece of the action. Dave Parker came through in the first game, backing up Jim Bibby's 4-hit victory with a 2-run homer. The Bucks lost the second game, but then on the final day of the season, Willie Stargell once again reached down deep. With that home run, Willie surpassed Honus Wagner as the Pirates' all-time RBI man. But more important, Stargell gave Pittsburgh the lead. And when word came that the Expos had lost, the Pirates were only a victory away from the title. Kent Tekulve was called upon for the 94th time. Pittsburgh had its 98th win of the season, the most Pirate victories in 70 years. It was also the Bucks' 6th division title of the decade. The family celebrated the passing of the first major hurdle and confidently moved on to the next. The next obstacle, Tom Seaver and the Western Division champion Cincinnati Reds, a team which the Bucks had never beaten in 3 postseason series. In the 3rd inning of the first game, Phil Garner rose up from his 8th position in the batting order to draw first blood. John Candelaria held the Reds to 2 runs, setting up an extra inning deadlock. In the 11th, Willie Stargell came through once again with a 3-run belt that gave Pittsburgh a 5-2 win. Stargell later called this game one of the most thrilling in which he'd ever played. The second game was as hard fought as the first. Tim Foley at bat, top of the 5th, 1-1 tie. This double gave the Pirates a 2-1 lead that held until the bottom of the 9th when the Reds tied it. But the tie lasted only until the top of the 10th and Dave Parker's swing of the bat. Omar Moreno scored and the Bucks led 3-2. Manager Chuck Tanner had made a number of strategic moves that day, not the least of which was bringing in fireballer Don Robinson as his 6th and final pitcher. Robinson, who had saved the first game, won this one, and the Pirates had a 2-0 series lead heading back to Pittsburgh. The family was home for the 3rd game of the series. Willie Stargell drove in 3 of Pittsburgh's 7 runs, including this gigantic shot to the second deck of Three Rivers. And when he got home, the whole family was there to greet him.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are
Bert Blyleven pitched 9 sweet innings, beating the Reds 7-1, giving the Pirates their 9th National League pennant. But the team that was family still faced the ultimate test, the World Series. The Pirates' competition, the Baltimore Orioles. Memorial Stadium proved a hostile environment for the Bucks as they dropped a frozen 5-4 decision in the first game. In the second game, it was all tied 2-2 in the ninth. Manny Sanguillen up and rain pouring down. Sanguillen smartly went to the opposite field. Ed Ott scored to make it 3-2. And Kent Tekulve came in to pitch the bottom of the ninth, striking out the first two before getting Al Bumbry to end the game. The Pirates had evened the World Series at 1 game apiece and were ready to return home to the city of Three Rivers. In games 3 and 4, the Orioles could do little wrong as lesser-known ball players with names like Ayala, Garcia, Lowenstein, and Crowley came through with timely hits. The Orioles won both games, and Pirate fans had to wonder. The situation was grim indeed. In 75 years of series play, only 4 teams had ever come back from a 3-game-to-1 deficit. But these Bucks had something extra. Call it character, call it heart, call it what you will. It was a quality that had turned this group of players into a family.
We are family.
And with all the strength that a tightly knit family can provide, the Bucks roared back to play the best baseball of their lives.
Get up, everybody, and sing. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing.
With his regular starters either weary or sore, Chuck Tanner called on 37-year-old Jim Rooker to start Game 5. Although twice disabled and only a 4-game winner, Rooker was superb, pitching 5 strong innings. Bert Blyleven then came out of the bullpen for the first time in 7 years and was the winning pitcher in the Pirates' 7-1 victory.
Just let me stay for the record.
There was no doubt about it. The Bucks now trailed 3 games to 2, but it was back to Memorial Stadium, where the Orioles needed only 1 more win. But John Candelaria stood in the Birds' way. The Candyman pitched with sore ribs and a bad back, but blanked the Orioles over 6 innings. Baltimore's Jim Palmer matched zeros through 6, but in the 7th, up stepped Dave Parker with 2 men on. Moreno scampered home, and the scoreless deadlock was broken. Kent Tekulve, shining with Stargell stars, held the Orioles to 1 hit over 3 innings of relief, preserving a 4-0 Pittsburgh victory. And now the Pirates were only 1 game away from a World Series miracle. In the 7th game, Baltimore led 1-0 in the 6th. And the way this game was going, it looked like it might be enough. Incredibly, Willie Stargell had done it again, giving Pittsburgh a 2-1 lead. The man who inspired the Pirates by giving his all was truly their most valuable player. But the Orioles weren't dead yet. Bottom of the 8th, 2 outs, and the bases loaded for Eddie Murray. Deep to right, but not deep enough. Bottom of the 9th, and Baltimore's hopes and prayers are running out. After striking out the first 2 batters, Kent Tekulve faces pinch hitter Pat Kelly. Center fielder Omar Moreno ends it. And the Pittsburgh Pirates are world champions for the 5th time. And for Willie Stargell, another MVP award, this time for the World Series. The Pittsburgh Pirates had become only the 5th team in baseball history to win the World Series after trailing 3-1. With all the excitement of a dramatic comeback, it went almost unnoticed that the Bucs had compiled a .323 team batting average and held the Orioles to only 2 runs in the last 3 games. 1979, the year of the Pittsburgh Pirates, world champions in a city of champions, and baseball's first family.
Living life is fun, and we've just begun to get our share of this world's delight. High hopes we have for the future.